Hey guys, today we're going to do a quick review of the right hand rules because it's a really important conceptual topic in magnetism that a lot of people just don't really get easily, or they confuse a couple of the different right hand rules. So right now we're going to review the big three rules. First right hand rule states that if you use your thumb as the direction of the current and then curl your fingers in toward your palm, you can find the direction of the magnetic field around the wire. This is probably the simplest of the right hand rules because it really only involves two components. The direction of the current, which is easy, you just place your thumb in that direction, and then you just curl your fingers around as though you're grabbing the wire, right? And then the direction that your fingers go will indicate which way that the magnetic field goes around the wire. And of course, most important thing is to remember to use your right hand when you do this, because if you use your left, everything will be backwards. The second right hand rule states that if you use your thumb as the direction of the current and then point your fingers in the direction of the magnetic field, your palm will point in the direction of the force that's exerted on the wire. So for instance, if you had a current passing through a wire and your thumb was pointing in that direction, right? Let's say it's pointing to the right side of the screen, right? So if you point your thumb to the right side of the screen and then the magnetic field is going into the screen, right? You can see that the direction of the force on the wire will be up because your palm should currently be facing upward. If you follow that, you should be able to find the direction of a force in any instance in this sort of situation. And then finally we have the third right hand rule. The third right hand rule states that if you use your thumb as the direction of the velocity of some particle, and then use your fingers as the direction of the magnetic field, you can find the direction of the force exerted on this particle by the magnetic field by either looking at the direction of your palm or the back of your hand, based on whether the particle is positive or negative. So, for instance, let's take an example here. If you place your thumb and point your thumb to the left side of the screen, right? And then you point your fingers so that the direction of the B field is out of the screen. This is a little hard to do, but you can see that your palm is now facing up and the back of your hand is facing down. This means that a particle with a positive charge would move upward in the magnetic field that we have here if given the direction of the velocity. And a negative particle would move downward, down in relative to the screen, because the back of our hand is facing down. You can see how this is very similar to right hand rule 2, except in this case we're dealing with a particle as opposed to a wire. So that's pretty much it for the right hand rules. And the most important thing to remember with all of these is just to realize the situation you're dealing with and to make sure that you've got everything working together properly. Everything's got to be in order. You know, if you have any sort of situation where you're unsure of it, just take your time with it and think, okay, which right hand rule do I apply? The one where the thumb is the current, the one where it's the direction of the velocity, and basically you work with what you have given in the problem to figure it out. And of course, most importantly, use your right hand when you do this. If you use your left for some reason, everything will be completely messed up, and that would be terrible. So, in conclusion, whether it's right hand rule 1, where you're dealing with the magnetic field around a wire, whether it's right hand rule 2, whether when you're dealing with the force on a wire in a magnetic field, or right hand rule 3 when you're dealing with the force on a particle. It's not too hard as long as you keep your fingers, thumbs, and your palms straight, and then you'll be good to go. So good luck on the final, and hopefully you won't have any trouble with the conceptual magnetism problems. And I guess that's all for now, and hope you guys enjoyed that. Bye.